What if I told you there might be a brand new gun coming to CS2? And maybe even sooner than you expect. Well, maybe not that soon, but it's definitely on the horizon. Before we dive into this, just a quick reminder, we're running a CS2 giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe, like, comment, and join our Discord for a chance to win a blue steel. So recently, PC Gamer sat down with the developers of Counter-Strike 2 and had an interview about the future of the game. As you may know, Valve's development cycle is a bit mysterious. Developers rotate, move to different projects, or return later on, while a core team remains dedicated to CS2. But in this interview, PC Gamer asked the question we've all been wondering. Does Valve have plans to introduce new weapons over the game's lifespan? And Valve's response, yes, it's not the top priority at the moment, but we absolutely plan to introduce some new weapons for CS2. We're always looking for ways to give players more interesting decisions to make in the game. So we'll typically look at cases where players either don't have the right tools to approach a situation or have only one or two tools available. Whereas the gameplay getting stale, what kind of weapon might shake up the status quo? Just from the response alone, it's a really big statement. Even more interesting, the devs mentioned that with the move to Source 2, shipping new weapons should actually be way easier. They said they've learned some painful lessons from the CSGO era about how to properly introduce new weapons without breaking the meta. And now with customizable loadouts in CS2, that process is much more straightforward. They've also probably learned their lesson from other projects even like TF2. Now, if we talk about the loadout system for a second, in CSGO, loadouts were limited. You could only pick between certain weapons like the M4A4 or M4A1S, but never both. With CS2, Valve flipped the system entirely. You can now equip both, giving you more freedom and customization. This system might have been designed specifically to allow new guns to enter the game seamlessly in the future. And if you think about it, the last time Valve introduced a new gun was the MP5 SD. It was a huge deal back then, and not necessarily for its power. The MP5 SD actually came out on August 15th, 2018. That was 7 years ago. But now Valve can add and will add new weapons when the timing is right. But again, it was a random time, and I bet you when they were trying to push the MP5 in the game, they were probably having a lot of problems with the game code. Hence why we've been seeing a lot of refactoring in the code base recently. So let's speculate for a little bit. If we do see a new gun in CS2, it probably won't be some crazy overpowered rifle or a meme tier weapon. Valve tends to add tools that fill a gap. Right now, the assault rifle category is pretty limited. Realistically, it's just the AK-47 and the M4A4. Imagine a new rifle that sits between the M4 and the AK, something like an ASVAL, high damage but with a smaller mag, let's say 20 rounds, and maybe even semi-automatic or a burst fire weapon. It would force players to slow down their aim, focus on precision, and adapt to a new playstyle. Or maybe Valve introduces a new type of weapon, something balanced enough to make you consider it in Premiere or face it. The real question is when. Valve said it's not their top priority right now, which means it could be a year or years until we see anything concrete. But with Source 2 fully in motion, the groundwork is already there. Once the game's core systems are stable, adding new weapons, skins, and animations could happen much faster than before. So yeah, new weapons are coming, whether it's in the near future or further down the line. Valve just wants to make sure that when they do arrive, they don't break what makes Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike. But what do you think? What kind of weapon would you want to see added to CS2? A new rifle or maybe a better SMG? Maybe something totally unique. I want to hear from you, so drop your thoughts down below. See y'all in the graveyard. Peace.